3 a.m. I have been up since 3 a.m. My kid woke up and kept screaming. And then I went to try to go back to bed. It wasn't happening. So woke up, got some work done, hydrated, and now we're here. Dads, you get it, right? One of the craziest comments, I don't know why it actually genuinely bothers me, but one of the craziest comments I get, and I get it often, is someone saying like, geez, bro, get some sleep. Can we all just take a step back, dads, and like bask in that for a moment? First of all, a couple things. One, that's the contribution that someone's gonna do. They're gonna have to hit comment and then type out, bro, get some sleep. And two, what you think I wanna do? What, do you think I'm staying up late playing video games? No, I go to bed at like 9, maybe 10 o'clock if I'm lucky, to be woken up every 2 hours and then finally decide, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna get up. And then I play video games in the morning. Get some sleep. It's like, you know? So you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little bit absent-minded and kind of groggy this morning. Oh, by the way, play mugs. Every time you buy this, I can buy a pound of ground beef for the family. So buy a mug and we'll have burgers. So we had like that crazy direct happen yesterday. I woke up and I was like, oh, I don't need to do the timer right now. But I woke up and I was like, oh man, let's actually do this. And so people are all talking about the direct, and I don't really care to sum up the direct that much. If you want to watch it, there was a live cup, cup 69. Just made cup of coffee and watched the direct. I'd rather actually talk about the fact that I think that Nintendo, I think that for me, Nintendo's in kind of this weird spot. One, I mean, it seems to be at the end of its life cycle, which it should be, right? It's been like 7 years. And I had this really bizarre, not experience, but I guess experience, this moment. I talked about it, one of the evening live streams, members only live streams, and I wanted to play, so this was on, so today's Thursday, it was Tuesday night, I was like, I'm going to stream, and I want to play Zelda Majora's Mask, because I'm like, this is going to be a great game to play. I haven't actually ever beaten this game, so this would be fun. The Nintendo thing is happening tomorrow, and I was feeling like just kind of excited, right? I've been listening to the orchestrated Zelda vinyl, and it's been really, really nice. And so I went to boot up Majora's Mask on the Switch, and I was like, this is going to be good. We're going to get through that. It's going to be a little bit nostalgic. It's going to be fun. And when the title started to do its rotating thing, I was like, this looks a little choppy. Now, mind you, I'm coming off of playing the Steam Deck, so I was like, okay, this is kind of choppy and jagged. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to bust out the 3DS, and I'm going to turn that on and look at the gameplay there and see, is there really a, point to play this game? Because in that moment, in that title screen spin, like genuinely, out the gates, I was like, I'm just not inspired to play this anymore. And that was a really weird feeling. I was like, what? This seems bizarre. So I turn this on and I start to get through it. And of course, I don't have the 3D part turned on right now, if you guys can see this, but like, it just looks clean. And the edges are nice and clean. I mean, and fold back into the back pocket. I, in that moment, was like, well, of course, I'm still going to play it on the Switch, because then I have my save file on the Switch, and I can, oh, wait a second. There's no achievements. There's no badges. There's no long-lasting anything that matters. There's no cross-progression, next game. There's no reason to play a game locally on this device, because I'm not going to gain anything. In fact, I don't even own the game on the Switch. It is a part of their rental service. And it got me thinking a little bit about what the next iteration of Nintendo should look like a little bit. I'm not going to speculate. I don't really care to get into it all that much, but the big thing that I didn't think mattered to me until that moment was this idea of achievements and having a little bit of incentive to play on that device. Aside from exclusives, there's really no reason why you would need to play any given game, with the exception of portability, but that's now covered with Steam Deck, on something like the Nintendo Switch. Sure, the Switch itself is inspiring, and knowing that you're holding a Nintendo product does come with its own fair share of excitement too. What side do I put this on? I'm just gonna put it on my big desk. What's keeping me on the Switch versus, again, this guy? The smaller, I like the 3D feature, 3DS. Sure, I guess there's bigger OLED screen, but again, this actually has the form factor here, whereas on the 3DS, on the Switch, you have a square, right? This has been remastered. This is the remastered version. I have Ocarina as well on the shelf, as well as Link Between Worlds and Fire Emblem Awakening, and I'm realizing that I would much rather play a retro title on an older console than a retro title on a newer one. 2, Amber. And that right there was something I was like, holy smokes, this is kind of bizarre. This is a weird feeling. This is a weird thing. Let's internalize it. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. And I'm realizing more and more and more that, like, I don't find myself in this later stage of playing the Nintendo Switch wanting to just grab the system and play. So when we had that presentation yesterday, I was like, cool, we have this new presentation. We have some new stuff that's going to happen. Let's get excited about the Nintendo Switch again, because I'm starting to feel a little bit less excited about it, which made me kind of a bummed out. I'm like, man, this system was something that I loved. I'm like, let's get revitalized. Let's get amped up. And for some, that presentation yesterday was huge. I know there's some creators out there that thought it was great. I watched some videos on it. I know that one of the creators in the Nintendo space, Josie Woe. I'm a fan of her content. That's why I mention it. She loved it. She thought it was great. RGT seemed to like it as well. I personally, if you watched the stream, had the face of, yeah, okay, the whole time. And I was like, this just isn't for me. There was, with the exception of the release of Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, and this new complete edition, which allows online play, and I talk about that in a second. I'll just go into it right now. Like, so that is coming out for all consoles. It's not just Nintendo, but it's releasing on Nintendo Switch, which is cool because of portable, right? It's releasing on Xbox and PlayStation, both, right? It's all $30 across the board. It's also releasing on Steam and Steam Deck. Now, I already own Battlefront 2 on Steam as well as on Xbox, because it was like $3 when I purchased it on Xbox, one of the few games I own there. But this is a newer version with extra maps and some extra heroes to play as, and I guess better online servers and online play. But yesterday was this presentation of remasters and the realization that the Nintendo Switch itself is winding down, which it should be. We're at the end of its life cycle. And I, at the end of the whole presentation, was like, okay, there were like 3 games that looked cool, right? I'm not really into the game Grounded or Pentiment, which apparently is like this big deal because Xbox is bringing these games. It doesn't matter to me. It really made no difference. And so those were there. There was a game called Coffee Grinder, I think. Something Grinder? I don't even remember the name of it right now because I'm so tired. No, I'm not even going to try to remember it. But it looked cool. The art was cool. It was an interesting concept. It was a platformer, which I'm into. And then there was this Star Wars Battle thing. Those 2 games that look cool to me are also available on Steam. And if the Nintendo Switch is on its last leg and Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 is not cross-play, then why would I want to purchase in March, when it releases, a game that potentially will die on the very console, yes, there could be, some sort of, what is it? My brain is just so not working right now. Not crossplay, but backwards compatibility. Holy smokes, guys. Oh, that tastes so good. Oh my gosh. That is so good. Oh, baby. Oh, I need that. It just fills me with warmth. I intentionally will post this video even though it's really struggling to get through it, because I feel like this is what we're all here for, dads. I'm there with you. I'm in the thick of it. Not sleeping much. Excited about video games. I woke up this morning because I wanted to get and do stuff. I had some work for a client I had to get done. Yesterday was just a treacherous day, and so I woke up and did that first thing because it's important to do. Had some quiet time, did my, praying and stuff like that. And then I was like, let's play some video games. And instead of playing video games, I was actually reading through The Last Ronin, because my buddy and I, Chase, we have a podcast where this is going to be one of the episodes. And so I started it and read through half of it. I'm going to read through the other half later today while the kids are napping. But anyway, back to the gaming thing. I just am really taking a long time to say that I prefer the Steam Deck over the Switch right now, and that's something I never thought I would say. And it's really because the Steam Deck is robust in nature. It allows me to play the games I want to play, and as far as the Nintendo Switch is concerned, I have no incentive to buy any games on that platform when the Steam Deck does everything that the Switch can do, except play first-party exclusives. But as far as first-party exclusives are concerned, I've played through most of the ones I want to play through. I have a few more I want to play through, but I'm a little bit less in a rush to play through Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, because right now I'm playing, or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, because right now I'm playing through Crisis Core. Now, just so you guys know, there is a live stream that's up, and I don't know if I'm going to stream tonight, and if you're watching this in another day, then it certainly hasn't happened or has happened already, you can check. But I did a live stream of me playing the Steam Deck docked mode at 70 to 80, and that's another thing that I'm just this is crazy, right? I can play games at higher frame rates. Sure, the graphical fidelity isn't there. I'm playing at 720 and 800p at sometimes, maybe 1080p, but I'm playing games at higher frame rates than I can play on the PlayStation 5. Am I playing Crisis Core at a better resolution than the PlayStation 5? No, but am I playing it at a higher frame rate than I can on the PlayStation 5? Yes. PlayStation 5 plays at 60. Steam Deck, it plays at 70 to 80. I cap it at 60, or I did end up capping it at 60, see what that's like, and it's just locked, no going anywhere. Otherwise, I'd be getting anywhere from 60, and then on some loading screens up to 200 something frames. The game itself runs amazing. It plays great. There's no lag. There's nothing. And it's docked, and then I take it off the dock, and I can play it as I want, whenever I want, on handheld mode. The very, very gaming experience I had with with the Nintendo Switch, which is my favorite gaming experience, being able to do a hybrid. Can I technically play my Switch games on the Steam Deck? Yes. Am I going to? No, because emulation for me isn't something that I just really try to drive. I mean, I know I could play through Ocarina of Majora's on the Steam Deck as well, but as I, stated before, I much prefer playing it on the 3DS because the gaming experience 3D for me is something that I find to be very special. And so now I'm going on vacation in the next couple of days, and I'm packing my bags, and what I'm bringing with me is crazy. I'm bringing a Steam Deck, obviously. I'm bringing my Xbox Series S with its attached X screen by Upspec Gaming, which I'm really excited for. I have a white one, and they sent me this, which is a decal set to make the white one black. But also, they were generous enough to send me this, which is the black one. Both of these will be in tomorrow's cup. We will unbox this, and then we'll also apply the decals in tomorrow's cup. So that's going to be interesting in nature. But I'm bringing those two, and then I am also bringing my 3DS because I want to play through Ocarina while reading the Ocarina of Time manga. Yes, vacation's going to be great. Just can't believe that I'm not bringing my Nintendo Switch. I am actually leaving it behind. Can I bring my Nintendo Switch? Is it non-consequential? Is it small? Sure. But will I be playing through the Nintendo Switch? No. I have a few games I need to finish. I need to finish Crisis Core. I also want to get through Ocarina of Time because that's something I want to play. Tears of the Kingdom's done, and I'm not really in the mood to go and grind through a bunch of those different things to finish it out more and more, at least right now, especially with Rebirth coming out in the next few days. And so the Steam Deck really has become such a powerful device in my lineup. And as a dad, and this is really what it comes down to, guys, is like as a dad, it is just so important to be able to play on a device that actually, I thought I heard my kid, but it's the cat screaming that it wants more food. I love and hate that cat at the same time. I don't hate the cat. The cat's fine. Cats are cats. The truest statement ever. But it's paramount as a dad that I have something that I just want to play, right? Especially when it's just like days like today, dude. I have like 3 things I still have to get done. One, I have to work out, right? Because I work out every day. It's important. 45 minutes or more every day. Need to. 2, I'm going to be watching both my children and keeping them alive and keeping them excited and fun. So going and doing stuff. That's 2. And so in doing those 2 things, I get really, really overstimulated. So I need to be able to relax. And so picking up a device that inspires me to play is important. And it excites me. I know I've talked about it a lot over these past few weeks, and I'll probably talk more and more, but I'm just so impressed with the experience. And I wish that there was some sort of affiliate I had with them so that my excitement could translate to some sort of financial thing, but it's not, right? I know other people in the community have been getting Steam Decks. My best friend got a Steam Deck just recently. It's coming in the next couple of days. Hopefully he has it by the time I get to his house. A couple other people have just pulled the trigger in the community, which is really rad. Again, the community is open to everybody, always. Free until the 29th of February. March 1st, it will require either a Patreon membership or a channel membership to get into that community. Anyone who's already there will be, in there for life. They'll get OG access, so you guys are good to go. But everyone else, after March 1st, you will have to, you'll have to get all locked and loaded on one of the memberships because I am trying to do what I can to generate a little bit of income here. So that is something that I am trying to do. And so people who are like, oh man, you just trying to make money? Yeah, Papa's got to buy groceries. So after yesterday, after that announcement, I feel like it was finally a moment where I could allow myself to just let go of something that I've been holding and being like, oh, this is the best, and then starting to get disappointed because it wasn't fulfilling what the best meant verbally to me. And so finally yesterday after the presentation, I was like, cool. I really, really am stoked that I have access to Nintendo games, but I'm just not going to use it as much right now. And so I'm not, which is just the way it goes, you know what I mean? Like, isn't that just kind of crazy the way everything pans out? You have something that you just love so much and dearly, but then a season changes and you're like, I don't love it as much as I did before. And to some who decide that their contribution to this community is pointing out how many times I changed my mind on things, here's a moment in which the very man who wanted to cover all things Nintendo is going, you know what? Maybe right now Nintendo just is on the back burner. That happens, dudes. Dads, we get it. Every morning, a dad will wake up and decide, how am I going to tackle the next 18 hours of being awake, right? Because that's the minimum that us dads are awake. 18 hours a day. It's rare that you get a dad that's awake for only 16 or even 14 hours. We don't get 8 hours. We don't get 10 hours of sleep. We get 6, right? And so in these 18 hours of being awake and all the responsibilities I have, how am I going to get through those 18 hours? I'll tell you, there was something pretty special about waking up at 3 a.m. this morning and coming downstairs to this office. This is nice. It was kind of warm. This room gets really warm. My house is cold. This room gets warm because the heater's in here, and for some reason it just stays warm. And so I'm in here. I come in here. My cat is on this chair, because that's where she decided her new place to sleep is, which is cool and bad at the same time because I have to like wipe it down. She's on the chair. She's purring so loud. Right? I can hear her as I walk in. She looks at me and then goes back to sleeping. I get onto my desk. I hit the start button on my vinyl that's already set and ready to go. I turn on the music. I get my stuff. I'm sitting there in quiet, in silence. The music comes on, and I'm just refreshed in this space. And it's great as a dad to be able to have a little bunker I call my own. This study, this gaming study that I call it, the library, whatever. It's just such a great feeling. And I think that what pairs with that is it generates this excitement to enjoy stories in the video game space and to allow myself to enjoy them wherever, whenever, however I want is the most important part of this. And for you too, when it comes to playing video games, it does not matter where you do it or how you do it, but if you're someone who enjoys this as a hobby, all that matters is that you do it. It doesn't matter what's coming out, it doesn't matter what came out, all that matters is that you pick up the device that you're going to play the game with, you turn on that device, and you start pressing buttons and getting through the story. That's all that matters. That's genuinely all that matters. Because at the end of the day, we're here to play video games. We're not here to collect games through sales. We're not here to flex hardware purchases. And we're certainly not here to, as much as to my own admission of trying to do this, we're not here to try to align ourselves with only one way of doing things. Because gaming exists in multi-platforms, whether it's on a cell phone all the way up to a multi-$1,000 gaming rig. All that matters is that you're enjoying your gaming experience. And I, for one, am finding myself gravitating towards the Steam Deck right now because it is fulfilling that very need, which is to play through good games and to have a good time doing it. So, and then I will say thank you, Nintendo, for a great 7 years of your system. I cannot wait for what you have next. Really can't. And yesterday was a very, very honest presentation by you, showing that there's a bunch of stuff that's still coming out. And I got really confident that the next thing is coming around the corner sometime soon after yesterday. Even if it's not this year, I think we'll all be fine. The Steam Deck is doing us great right now. And yeah. So I hear my family moving and rustling and bustling, even though they shouldn't be up right now. By family, I mean my daughter. Go and see what that's all about. And try to survive, because right now it is 6:22 a.m. And I still have until about 10 p.m. to stay awake, so. Let's listen to this one more time.